So, welcome. My name is WriterMaven. I am the host of the Wrestling Receipts podcast. I talk all things Judgment Day, Don, Liv, Raquel, Carlito, JD, Ben, and all that implies. I just decided to come on impromptu because um, there has been some Liv information that's gotten out today, yesterday, and in these couple of days. So, we found out on Monday that Liv will be in the movie, and she's gonna probably be gone for a little bit. And we found out yesterday that the movie she's going to be in is going to be called Bad Lieutenant Tokyo. And this is from a studio that has produced many Oscar winners, so I can see why they were calling it a big, huge deal. But I really was hoping they didn't hype it. Well, this is mostly the dirt sheets hyping it, not the WWE itself, but the dirt sheets like Sean Ross Sapp, PWI Insider, they were kind of like really hyping this as like these dirt be jaw dropping and things like that. So when the movie title Bad Lieutenant Tokyo came out, you get some of these naysayers, oh, like, well, listed like that's it. Not even researching the studio that has actually produced Oscar winners. So this is a huge role for Liv, and you never know what can come about her being in this role. But yeah, I really have to side eye people being like, oh well, that's it. Well, your faves didn't get casted into a movie. It's only a few people that have been. It's been Drew recently, and like John Cena, Batista, um, The Miz. Naomi's been in the movie too, like a small role. So and she's been in another recent movie too regarding the female wrestler. So movie roles are movie roles. That can get Liv's foot in the door. So for people to say like that's it regarding this role, even though the dirt sheets hyped it up, is really disingenuous. And of course, you have some of the Rhea stands talking about, well, Rhea could have been in any kind of horror movie. I was like, okay, and she hasn't, but she didn't land the role, did she? Like uh this what about ism is something else. Like, be happy for her. Nobody was bringing Rhea into conversation until they brought Rhea into conversation. She can spend her time taking her time off and carrying the company, like The Rock said. But I digress. Also, we also found the PWI Insider is also saying that Liv and Raquel are not dropping the tag team titles because Liv is only expected to be out maybe like a month. So she's right now, they said she's in Tokyo now filming some stuff or starting to film some stuff. So she'll just be out probably this whole month of May, maybe a little bit more. It depends, but it's not a long time. So it wouldn't make sense for Liv and Raquel to regain the tag team titles only to drop them just for this short amount of time. And again, as I made a huge thread that is now still at like around 200K views, and it keeps going, about like all these bad faith, worrying about people regarding, Liv leaving for this movie, because I brought up, people were thinking Dom's going to cheat. What about the tag titles, and what about Raquel? Let's break this down, shall we? I'm gonna break this down a little bit quick because it is in my thread. You can look on the x.com/WMaven WWE to read it. This is a bit long thread that I made, but I'll break down why these are a lot of bad faith arguments regarding Liv leaving for this movie role. First of all, Dom. People are really trying to push like he will cheat. Okay, first of all, we all know that Dom has been extremely monogamous. He's only been with two women, Rhea and Liv. And even with Rhea, while you can say he cheated, even though you can make the argument that he didn't, because Rhea said herself she fights for things she loves and she didn't fight for Dom, so did he really cheat? But I say all that to say with Rhea and Dom, There was cracks already forming in their relationship prior to Liv even joining the conversation. Even if I go with my canon theory that Dom and Liv hooked up after Dom lost the North American Championship the second time, there was still cracks because Dom had gone through getting an ultimatum from Rhea about winning the North American Championship back or not coming home. And this is also with Rhea flirting with Jay that never seems to come up. So they already have problems. If we were going to have any kind of cheating, like I've always said with Triple H, he's not subtle. We would be seeing clues by now. So, and then it just seems like people want to think now that Liv is gone, just like Rhea was gone for a time, that Dom will cheat or turn into that aspect of Eddie Guerrero where he was, flirting with everybody. That hasn't been in Dom's nature. We haven't had Dom flirt with any other women. The only other woman that's come on to Dom has been Tiffany, and that has been rebuffed by Dom. So, yeah, it's really funny how, again, these are mostly Rhea stans that wanted Dom to start like cheating and acting like Eddie Guerrero when Dom has not been presented like that, and it really shows how little they think of his character or has followed his character to think that way. I mean, you can always do something where people want to come onto Dom because Liv's not there, and Finn could use that in a certain way, but I don't think Dom himself will be cheating. Like I said, he's been extremely monogamous, and he doesn't even look at other women compared to his real father, Eddie. Um, and then to come back around to the tag team titles, where they're not going to be stripped of the titles, Liv and Raquel. I find it always interesting that people are also suddenly concerned about the tag team titles. Like, why is everybody now concerned about the tag titles? How come they're not going to be defended? Oh, these tag titles could have went to Gigi and Tatum. Okay, they could have went to them, but the division is still dead. There are no tag team divisions. There are no storylines with the division. There's nothing going on. Liv being gone for a month does not impact the tag team title division in any kind of way. So it's really interesting that now people are concerned, especially now that people were all laughing at Liv for having to go back to the tag team division because there was nobody there. Like, we only got the Party Girls and Zoe and Shayna and maybe Natalia and Maxine. But there's only like 3 groups. They just broke up the Meta Girls, which I am really pissed off about. And they won't even get a chance to get at the tag team titles again. So where's all this concern about the tag team titles? And then now people want to say, well, you can have Roxanne and Giulia go for the tag team titles. Okay, all right. So you're gonna give them the tag team titles, and then you're gonna stick them in a dead division. You see where I'm getting at here? Like, why is it now all of a sudden people want the tag team titles off of Liv and Raquel just because Liv is gone? Y'all weren't concerned about the tag team titles when Liv and Raquel won off of Bianca and Naomi. Y'all were laughing at Liv. Y'all were laughing at Raquel being in a dead division. So Liv and Raquel holding the tag titles while Liv is out and about filming this movie is not going to harm anything. And if the WWE was smart, and if Triple H was smart, which he isn't, they would be using this time to build up another challenger for Liv and Raquel when Liv comes back. Now, my little personal pet theory, because on my YouTube channel, somebody came up with a really nice theory of maybe injecting either Cora, like as a Judgment Day member, Cora Jade, because she hasn't been doing anything, or you could have like Finn bring in Roxanne as somebody to tempt Dom because Liv was there because Finn wants his power back. So you could do a little bit of things like that where you bring in new members of Judgment Day and kind of weave it into the plot where while Liv is not there, trying to reestablish himself, and we can also see Dom shoot that down along with Raquel. I had a theory that you can have like maybe Roxanne and Giulia go up against Raquel by herself, and this could be an establishing moment for Raquel because I think she needs it. And you could do that, and then just when you think Gulia and Roxanne are going to win those tag team titles. Here comes Cora Jade, who comes out against Roxanne because remember Roxanne walked out on Cora Jade at the Stand and Deliver tag team match. So you could have Cora Jade come in to help Raquel, and Raquel and Roxanne and Cora Jade have a little bit of a connection too in NXT, so it wouldn't be totally out of the blue. So you could have Cora come in just to be a temporary member and a temporary tag team holder for Judgment Day for the women's tag, and then she can come in as a Judgment Day member as well. I think I was always kind of against Cora Jade as a Judgment Day member, but I think my issue with Cora is just that she was kind of associated with Rhea, but now that she's not, like there's like no association now at this point with Cora Jade where I would be okay with it. I will be okay with Roxanne. I'll be okay with Cora Jade joining Judgment Day. I mean, I do think they need somebody else in there. You can have her as an understudy. They're not doing anything with Cora Jade anyway in NXT. I don't even think she's going to be in there for the North American Championship or the NXT title. And I think it was kind of shitty how they did with Cora Jade because they dropped the whole Cora Jade Roxanne thing just so Roxanne can come up with Gulia. So, Cora's not doing anything. She can come in with Judgment Day, help out Raquel, get some revenge on Roxanne to tie off that little feud, and then we are off to the races. Um, so yeah, so we could do something like that. Um, but yeah, that was a nice comment on my YouTube channel for that. So if you see my previous video on YouTube, you can read that comment. I think their name is TLC, something like that. There's a couple of comments on there that has some really nice comments regarding Cora and Roxanne and Judgment Day. Also, the other third bad faith argument with Liv going for this movie is what about Roxanne? I mean, not Roxanne. What about Raquel? Now, didn't we just have a whole discourse about Raquel holding back Liv, where people are upset with Raquel for holding back Liv, interrupting Liv and Dom moments? Like now, all of a sudden, why are you worried about Raquel? Like, y'all were all upset about Raquel. Y'all didn't want her in Judgment Day. Y'all didn't want her around Liv. Didn't want her around Liv and Dom. Y'all said that she was interrupting all their moments. She's always there. She's a bad bodyguard. Everything was just so bad about Raquel. So now all of a sudden, why are y'all concerned about what Raquel is going to do? There is plenty of things that she can do. Me and my buddy Hope Insanity have been talking about what Raquel can do while Liv is away. Right now, I think I would position her as Dom's heavy. She did this with Chad when Chad came to talk to Dom regarding the the hint to go, to find the Lucha. But this is before he became El Grande Americano, allegedly. And this was like a social. This is like a what was this on the X, that little video where she stood up to Chad when he came in, where he was questioning Dom about this. Personally, I would position Raquel as Dom's heavy. She can come out there for his matches. It's not going to be gone a long time. It'll probably be a month at most. This role is huge, but not the point where how the dirt sheets are hyping it. But it's still a huge role. We could still see more to come from Liv and any other wrestlers from the WWE. So be happy. I know we're not gonna like it where Liv is getting gone, but personally, it's not like Liv has been all over Monday Night Raw to begin with. We just got a whole bunch of Liv and Dom content from India to WrestleMania, so maybe they did that just because they knew she was going to be away. So we have a lot of content there. So it's not like we were starved for Liv Dom content and now Liv is going away. It's only going to be a month. Liv Dom fans, y'all be okay. I've been in situations where wrestlers have gone away not due to injury but due to something else, and I know it can suck, but you'll be okay. We'll be okay. She'll be back. Yeah. So I also want to talk about Wyatt and Judgment Day because these Wyatt Six fans are really wanting to push a feud with Judgment Day. I will say this because I want to dedicate some time to this, and I want to answer questions and I'm running out of time right now. But I'm gonna say this about Wyatt Six when it relates to Judgment Day. Wyatt Six going after Judgment Day at this moment makes no sense. Why does it not make sense? Taking away Liv eliminating Alexa, just taking that part out. Wyatt Six is after people that betray families and things like that. So they could say that Judgment Day betrayed Rhea and Damien. Okay, but Rhea and Damien got their leg back against Judgment Day already. So this is just be going back to well twice. Like we've already seen Judgment Day get put through the ringer due to Rhea and Damien's overbooking. We've already been through that. And there's no point to it. And then I'm going to explain a little quickly why there's no point. Dom, if you want them to, if Wyatt Six is going after Dom, again, it's the whole thing with Rhea. Rhea would have to admit that she's been hurt by Dom, pretty much, but she didn't act like that, and she didn't act like Dom was really her boyfriend. It was just somebody for her to control. So Dom cheating on Rhea with Liv is not really a betrayal per se. Now they want to probably rewrite some history, and this is why I hate it when the WWE was rewriting a lot of the history. But again, if we just go back and watch it, Liv has not betrayed anyone. Period. No one in her career, even when she was with Riot Squad, she has not betrayed anyone. She didn't betray Ruby Riott. She didn't betray Sarah Valhalla now. She did not betray Rhea. Rhea turned on her. Did she steal Dom? You could probably say, yeah, but that's not really a betrayal. Liv has not betrayed anyone. Raquel has not betrayed anyone. She and Rhea have a history, but it's not a betrayal type history. And again, you can also say that Rhea started it again because they had buried the hatchet and Rhea started her shit up again. So there's nothing there. JD has not betrayed anyone. Did he side with Finn when Judgment Day broke away from Damien and Rhea? Yeah. But JD was being horribly abused by Damien. Like, Damien was abusing him, saying that, and then Damien saying that he didn't need Judgment Day. So there's nothing there as well. Same thing with Carlito. Carlito was passed over by Rey Mysterio, and he attacked Dragon Lee to get into the WrestleMania match. But again, that's something started by Rey Mysterio. It wasn't like Carlito did that out of the blue. There was a trigger point with Rey, and the same thing goes back with Rey with Dom too. Rey was the trigger point. It's not like Dom and Carlito turned on Rey out of their own volition. The only person that I could see Wyatt Six coming after would be Finn because of the way Finn has been treating Dom, Liv, Raquel, and everybody else. This is not even how Finn has been treated by Damien and Rhea. If they're going after Finn because of what happened with Damien and Rhea, then we saw how Finn was treated by Damien. Now, Finn demented demon towards Dom, and that's another story, and you can probably something for the Wyatt Six from there. But just Finn, compared to Damien and Rhea, Finn was manhandled by Damien. We've seen him do it. Like, Finn was horribly treated by Damien because Damien wanted to be this champion, and he said that he didn't need Judgment Day. So if they're going to do this kind of feud, you have to bring up all that history, and I think they're going to do that. So that's why I'm saying Judgment Day and Wyatt Six doesn't make sense. There are other people that have done some active betrayals, like Naomi, and I don't want Naomi with involved with Wyatt Six either. But there are other people on the roster that have done active betrayals that you would think Wyatt Six would be involved in. Like I said, I think Judgment Day is almost above Wyatt Six at this moment. Wyatt Six needs to go after somebody else, rebuild themselves, and then we can talk about maybe a Judgment Day Wyatt Six thing, if that comes to pass. So let's answer some questions. I got about maybe 8 minutes or so. So let's answer some questions really quick. Thank y'all all for joining me, just impromptu. Jacob says, what is the earliest you expect Liv to be on Raw? I expect Raw. I expect Liv to be back on Raw in about a month. That's what they were saying. That's what PWI is saying. So I expect Liv to be back in a month. KG says Rhea was defending Jay when she was with Dom. Yeah, see, that got swept under the rug, and people kept trying, like me, I kept trying to bring that up with Rhea. Like, okay, but you want to talk about Dom cheating on Rhea with Liv, but Rhea was flirting with Jay when Liv was nowhere in the picture. So who started it? Like, you can't get after Dom for cheating when Rhea did the exact same thing, pretty much. She was openly flirting with him. She did a lot more with Jay than Dom did. I mean, yeah, Liv was pursuing Dom, and Dom was being really duplicitous. But it's not like Dom was over here flirting with Liv with every opportunity while Rhea was away. Kenji says, I don't see Dom cheating on Liv. He really loved Liv. Yeah, right now they're really being presented as a couple more so than Rhea and Dom. And if they really wanted to do this whole like Eddie thing where he's flirting it with everybody and stuff like that, that should have been established a long time ago. You can't just do that now in a month period while Liv is gone. We should have been seeing Dom flirting with people while he was in NXT. We should have saw Dom flirting with people when he was with Judgment Day, with Rhea and things like that. We should have been seeing that. Katie says, and it doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't. Dom cheating right now doesn't make sense. It's just a lot of Rhea stands that want that to happen so they can break up and Dom can go to Rhea, where, Rhea just needs to stand on her own. They always want Dom to go back to Rhea, and that ain't the case. That can happen way, 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 way in the future if they're even thinking about any kind of reunion, because pro wrestling is like that. But now, no. Let's see. Jacob says, imagine titles and trophies for both Liv and Dom. Yeah, right now, that's what we're getting. I'm still hoping for the photos for, with La Familia with their titles, because I want that photo shoot. Liz says, hey Liz, Liv and Raquel are supposed to defend them when Liv comes back. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I said, I expect them to just use this time, if they were smart, to find another number one contender for the title, and then Liv and Raquel can defend the titles then. And like other people have said, Liv and Raquel defended the titles at WrestleMania, and then they won them back at Raw, and then they defended them again on NXT. So they should be well within the time limit, if there is one, for defending the titles. And they didn't even defend the titles from Elimination Chamber to WrestleMania. So it's not like they were called out for not defending them in that time period between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. So they should be fine just being a month off. Kenji says, I wonder what Raquel is going to do in Judgment Day since Liv is out. I've said this already, but I think she's just going to be Dom's heavy and then rebuffing anything that Finn attempts to do. I don't think Dom is going to slip back into where he's like doubting himself, because he's an IC champ right now, and we've seen his cockiness with AJ this past Raw. So I don't think he's going to slip back into this role where Finn thinks he can just run over him. Barbie Girl says, when people say Dom will not be loyal when she comes back, again, we just saw Dom. We know Dom has only been with two women, so unless they pull somebody out of their ass, like from NXT, which is possible, but still, he's only been with two women. This is just them reaching and then not looking at character work. At least for all I complain about Triple H, I do know that he would be putting out clues if it was any kind of inkling that that's the direction they would go for Dom. Jacob says, what about adding Bronson Reed to Judgment Day? I wouldn't mind it. I would like it, but we have to wait until Bronson is healed up before we can think about him joining Judgment Day. And she said, Liv recently told Raquel in the comments that you know what to do while I'm out. So yeah, I do know that. Yeah, so it looks like Raquel does know what to do. So she probably is warning Raquel about Finn. Keep an eye on him. Keep him away from Dom, or keep Dom safe from Finn while she's out. Jacob says, what are they about Finn when Liv will be gone? I think they're just thinking that Finn will try to do a power play, and he might, but I don't think it's going to succeed. Sierra Moto says, Dom and Reed get caught in the shower. What, like Eddie? They could have did that with Dom and Liv. I doubt it. And Rhea's already riptied the dude anyway, so why would you want Rhea with Dom, back with Dom? Wouldn't that make Rhea look more like an idiot for getting back with somebody that supposedly broke her heart? Just saying. Do you think JD is in on the plan to get Finn out of Judgment Day with Liv and Dom? I think JD will side with Dom and Liv when it comes to it, just because I've always said that JD has always been Dom's boy. They've been boys. Dom has always stood up for JD, and even though Finn brought JD into Judgment Day, it wasn't Finn that was sticking up for JD. It's always been Dom. It's always been Dom that's been taking care of JD. And another TikTok commenter said that you can have JD have a chip on the shoulder for Finn because Finn wasn't there to be in the tag team match. It was Dom that stood up and took charge to be in the match while Finn disappeared. If y'all remember that time, y'all remember when Finn disappeared and JD was panicking about his tag team title match? So you could have JD just be pissed at Finn for doing that, and he got injured, and Finn was nowhere to be found. And, that's the person that brought him in his Judgment Day. So you can do that. Barbigo says, "What do you think will happen next Monday on Judgment Day?" There's a lot of things we could do. We could see if Liv is gone. We could just have Dom. Maybe he's kind of missing her, but you can have just him having to deal with AJ. You can have Finn sneaking around trying to do something, but Raquel rebuffing. And then there's also the humorous thing of Carlito wanting a belt, so I would not be surprised if Carlito went after the WWE Speed Championship just for shits and giggles. So there's plenty of stuff we can do. And then JD can actually step up too as well and be suspicious of Finn if Finn decides to do any kind of power play. So there's plenty of things they can do. I'm not sure what the direction will be, but we'll find out probably on Monday. Remember, JD has that match with Penta, so we'll see if Finn tries to either help out JD and it backfires, or we get to see if JD maybe get a win, maybe due to Raquel or something like that. That could actually be interesting too. I know Penta's losing a little bit, but this is in the course of a story, so you could have maybe JD eke out a win here due to Raquel and not due to Finn, and maybe Finn fails and Raquel wins.